Okay.
Question is, would you rather fight 10 ducks sizes of a horse or one horse size of a duck?
Yo, where you get this from?
Bro, it's just a question, bro. You gotta answer it, bro.
No, I mean, horse size duck? Yeah, I mean, one horse, right? One horse?
You rather take one horse?
That's the size of a duck?
Yeah. You rather do that?
Yeah.
But they're soft. Like, they're big, but like, they're ducks, bro.
Yeah, but I believe in strength over numbers. So if it's 10 of them,
All right. Strength over. Wait, then that just contradicts your.
I mean, no, it's not strength. Strength in numbers. Strength in numbers.
Strength in numbers. I word.
Strength in numbers. Golden State Warriors. That's their thing. Strength in numbers. When you have a whole bunch, all they got to do is just get you from multiple sides.
I respect it.
So you got one coming from the left that you focused on the left. You don't have enough time to focus on the right or behind you.
Nah, you're right.
Every angle is getting.
All right, that's a good answer.
Okay, let's go.
What is up, guys? Today is episode 2. That's so real. I am so excited to have second guest here, Joseph Fernandez. He is a fire basketball player, I've heard, and he is a good friend of mine. I met him recently this month, and yeah, welcome, Joseph. How you doing?
Appreciate it. I'm good. Thank you for having me, though.
You chilling, bro?
Yeah.
How's your week been, bro? You been good?
Week is good. Solid. Definitely been trying to keep busy, keep occupied.
Yeah.
I heard that is good.
I heard that you do like a lot of pressure washing, right? You do pressure washing stuff.
So
explain that.
So actually, I recently got into mobile detailing.
Yeah.
You know, doing like, I guess you could say car washing, but that's something that like I recently never really thought I'd even find myself getting into.
Yeah.
The opportunity really just came to me like out of nowhere.
What made you do it? Just like you just thought of it, or like?
Well, I mean, it was actually a friend of mine's van. He owned the business, him and his boy. They were, I know him from high school. And so basically he had the van. They were doing it for like 2 years. And he said he wants to get into something else. And then the other one, my other boy was like, yeah, like I'm good. Let's just sell it. So he then came to me as a joke saying like, yo, you want to buy the van? And I was like, nah. Like, that's funny. I laughed at it.
Yeah.
I said, nah. Then I really thought about it. And like knowing myself, like me personally, like I don't like having a boss. I don't like scheduled work hours.
Yeah,
and I thought, wow, this is a perfect opportunity for something like this, you know. And I've always believed in, you know, what you put in, you're going to get out of it.
100%.
So something like this, I feel like was good for me, and I feel like I've picked up quicker than maybe a lot of people could have. But like it's still a timely thing, you know, perfecting your craft and stuff. But it's definitely something that I'm interested in. I genuinely enjoy too.
That's fire, bro. So you're like working a lot with like cars and stuff like that. Like you're more in the mobile, like just like cars basically, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even say I've always been into cars too. Like,
yeah.
A lot of things. Yeah. So really I work on like my car. I do like a lot of mechanical stuff. It started with that. I really got interested in that. And I never really thought about cleaning cars and stuff. Like it was just take care of my car, my mom's car, save money. But on top of that, something to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hobby, a little something for fun. But this just like, now I feel like I could put both together. You know, just offer a service that I clean and I repair.
Oh,
it's convenience.
Let me tell you something, bro. I don't know nothing about cars, bro. This is actually a true story. When I first started driving, I have a 2006 Nissan Altima. So this car has been sitting in my driveway for five years. Ever since I was like 11, it's just been sitting in my driveway the whole time, and like it doesn't start. It doesn't start at all. Like we had to take it to the mechanics, stuff like that. Like so. When I started driving, my parents were like, all right, we got a car right there. Like, you gotta go, fix it. You know, we gotta take care of it. So I have a boy, his name is Ragov. He helped me, fix it because he knows more about cars than I do. Mm-hmm. So we fix it, get it done after months of, cleaning it, fixing the rusty parts and stuff like that, getting the important parts. It's fixed. I'm out here, bro. So I work at Jones and I'm out here. I've never like had a situation with a car, like, where it's like, oh, I gotta fix it, Like I usually just have someone else help me to do it. Dude, we're driving, and like, I'm driving with a friend of mine. She's like, a friend of mine that's a girl too. So in her mind, she's like, all right, like he's a guy, bro. Like it's nothing like romantic, but like he's like in her mind, she's like, all right, he's a guy. Like if anything happens to a car, bro, like he got it, right? Bro, I lose so much aura, bro, because I'm driving. Hold on, I'm driving, and then the car. Like, I just hear, like, a rusting sound. It's probably nothing. Bro, I get a flat tire. Bottom right, I get a flat tire. In the middle of the highway as well. Flat tire, it is hot in the middle of the summer. I pull over, I'm like, oh, shoot, bro, what do I do? First thing I thought was like, I can't tell my parents, bro. I can't have my parents. I gotta be a grown man, bro. I gotta get like someone like the bro. I call my boy, bro. I try to call him, bro. My phone dies. And I don't know his number. My phone dies, I don't know his number, and I'm stressing. I'm like, bro, and I don't remember his number, so I can't even use her phone to get like contact of him. So I'm out here for 30 minutes just trying to like find the tools and what to do, and I'm just staring there. I'm like, yeah, I'm cooked, bro. I'm cooked. So that's exactly what happened. And she recorded the whole thing, bro. She was like, bro, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, bro. I was like, I lost so much ore, bro. I'm cooked, bro. I have so much ore lost. So then eventually I actually ended up like, I was like, all right, wait, you have Instagram, right? And then I added him on Instagram through her phone, and that's how I called him. And then he came and then helped me. But that was an embarrassing story too. It took me so like now I know how to retail a car, just the wheels. I know it's nothing like what you do with the power washing and like fixing the insides, right? The car, like the but yeah, bro. So I gotta for those of you men out there, bro, you gotta know how to fix a tire, bro.
At least.
You ever redo a tire or not?
I never had a flat.
No,
I never had a flat, but
Lucky, bro.
yeah, just whenever I do work on the car and like I need to take off a certain part, like brakes.
Yeah.
But never had a flat.
You do like an oil change, or you get someone to do it?
Yeah, no oil change. That's like basic stuff.
Yeah.
Oil change, brakes.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
I feel that, bro. Yeah, I gotta get better at cars, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, it's fun, but frustrating though.
Yeah.
I have an older car, like I have a '07 Honda CRV.
Yeah.
And it's rusted. It's straight rust. If you have a car that is like old and rusty, all those bolts and everything do not come out. And I'm telling you, you're gonna sit there just yelling at yourself, just screaming, like trying to figure out like how to do it, and you're just using all your strength. And sometimes it doesn't even need strength.
God damn, bro.
Yep.
Damn, bro. Now we know, bro. Now we know. Make sure it's not rusty, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, bro, let's move on to you, bro. Tell me more about yourself. You know, besides like how were you growing up in school and stuff like that? Like, just tell me more something that you feel like the viewers should know.
Okay. So I guess I could start with high school.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I guess so. I guess when it comes to like for basketball, when I first started playing basketball, it was like 10th grade. Playing for fun, playing CYO basketball. Playing for the local church. Then got to middle school. I was a decent player. Then got to high school. Wasn't really that good. And right after my first year, I was like, okay, I want to play college basketball. And that's when I decided to get a trainer, start actually playing basketball over the summer. And then after that summer, going into my 10th grade year, that's when I really seen a lot of growth. And I took a huge leap in like my skills, just my ability, my IQ, everything.
Yeah.
You know, it took a huge jump just by having a trainer now. And then probably
that one-on-one time, bro. It's like it must have helped you.
Yeah. Just being around like other future college athletes. There was a lot of guys that were around me that were, you know, in maybe a year or two older than me, but they were like, you could tell that they were gonna go play at that next level.
Yeah.
So just seeing them, being around them, like helped make me a way better player at such a young age.
100%, bro.
You know, and especially that's just great for the youth. You know, honestly, I genuinely believe that kids have to play against older guys that are more experienced, stronger. That just helps them. So by the time they're playing kids that are maybe around the same size as them, they've already been through that.
100%, bro. I'm telling you, bro. When it comes to like athletic, like that's overall in athletics too. Like if you're around people that are better than you, bro, you're just bound to join, bro. Like it's either like it's gonna be tougher on you, but like when you're going through those tough times, when you're going back to that normal level and you have to like compete against people that are on your level, you're so used to competing against people on the level above you that you'll be dominating on your level. Yeah. So that's like that's a good trait to have, bro. Like that's a good thing to do, you know, because I'm not much of a basketball player, but I'm more of the summer vibes. But like I know how it'd be like where it comes to like trying to compare yourself and like trying to push yourself, you know, going against people faster than you or like better than you in basketball, and then like the more that you're around them, bro, the better you'll be.
Yeah.
So like,
absolutely.
I respect it a lot.
Yeah.
Was it a tough challenge? What was a tough challenge that you had to go through? Was it just the training or the was it mental? There's a lot of mental in basketball. I can imagine, bro. Mental is tough.
There's so many things: physical, the mental, you know, aspect of basketball. A lot of people don't realize that especially when you're younger. If you don't have a good role model, you don't have somebody that could really teach you and help you get years ahead of your competition, then it's like that's something that's very hard that like you just find out over time. And sometimes by the time you find out, it's almost a little too late. It's just like your time is just you're running out of time.
Yeah.
But it helped though. Definitely helped though.
Do you ever think you give like too much pressure to yourself? Do you think you get in your own head sometimes in games?
All the time. All the time, especially like now. So for me, the last time that I was consistently playing like every game basketball was high school. So like right now, this is my third year in college, but I have not played a single college basketball game, like actual minutes.
Yeah.
And my first 2 years of college, I was at a Division II school. A lot of players that were really good around me. A lot of dudes that just were experienced. Like when I first got there, it was guys that should have been that was their last year, and the next year they were gone. But they had another year after that because of COVID. So they were there, already played 4 years of college basketball. These guys are, one or two of them were like ready to go pro. I didn't know I didn't expect any of it. I was not prepared. I came in on like almost like a head high, like, okay, like I could do this. I could definitely play with these guys. And it was a totally different game. It was a totally different environment. I never expected to even see like this level of competition.
Yeah.
So I came in, and then once I seen that how good these guys were, it just mentally just started getting down on me.
I can imagine, bro.
Yeah, and I had to redshirt that year. Then the next year, my freshman year, was still kind of hard because it's like, yeah, I improved, but so did other people. So that's the one thing too with basketball. Like you gotta figure out how you can get better each year. Other people are improving too, but
how do you stand out?
Yeah,
those other people. Yes,
yeah. You really got to put in the hours, or you just have to do what will help you. You have to figure out what your weaknesses are and just attack them. Attack them. And those first 2 years, even though I never played at that school, but because it was such a high level, and it wasn't low level Division II basketball. No, like this was a good team, good school. Guys go pro out of here every year. It's not uncommon that for a guy to go pro out of the school. Just being around it like prepared me though, and it helped. It helped being around all these good players because it kind of put me into the mindset of, like I said, being a younger guy, being around a lot of great older players. Now you're used to that competition. 100%. You're used to playing against guys like him. So once you go down to a lower level of competition, now you can really compete. Now you dominate in that sense. You're able to just win. Mentally, you're like, okay, I'm not even really worried about you, which is a big thing too. Mental aspect. Just if you're not worried about it,
100%.
You just perform at your highest level.
Would you say, I got you with a good question here. You talk, because this is a question that I would ask myself too. I usually ask myself too, like, what do you wish you told yourself 5 years ago or 4 years ago as a player, solely as a player, to not overthink or like maybe not like worry so much and focus more on this aspect instead of worrying about this one aspect? Because a lot of things that as players, like, we focus so much on like maybe our rankings, or we focus so much on like, this specific type of thing, for me as swimmers, specific type of person. So like I would focus on this one guy that's like so much faster than me that I'm not really paying attention to my own self on how I'm improving as a swimmer. I'm just worried about this guy beating me every single time, So like, what is one thing that you would tell yourself 5 years ago or 4 years ago, like your past self that now? Like, what do you wish you told them?
Definitely that just to stay in your own race. Like, your journey is significant to you. There are guys in the NBA that started out Division II, and their last year, then they went to Division I. Now they're in the league. Like Derek White was like 3 years Division II basketball. Yeah, he was killing. But then his last year, once he transferred to D1, like he had a great year. It was able to translate to the next level, and now he's making like multi-million-dollar a year in the league, NBA champion. So stuff like that, like your journey is significant to you. And it's hard. It's definitely very hard because there's so many lows, and you get down on yourself. It's hard. It's hard to keep that positive mindset of, okay, I can still do this. This is still what like I want to do. You start questioning, like, is this for me? Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I wasting my time? It's hard.
Especially when you're grinding and like nobody's really cheering for you, bro. Like that self grind, bro. Like,
yeah,
It's hard. It's even like when you fail, bro. You know how hard it is. Like when you work so hard on something and then you fail, and then you gotta work just as hard, if not harder, to be better at that. But like you just low key don't want to do it because you're like, bro, what's the point, bro?
Yeah, you think the same thing might happen.
Yeah.
But that's great. But like I've seen a lot of things on like social media that make sense, but the support on your rise to get to wherever you want to go, the support is not really there.
Mhm.
Maybe get one or two people, but once you get there and once you're accomplished and you've achieved, so many people start surrounding you. Oh, I always knew you could do it. Wow, like that's crazy. Oh, I seen that for you. But they were never there while you were in the gym, putting the work in, putting all the hours that you put in, everything on and off the court, everything, in
Yeah.
and out of the pool for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you had to do, and people don't really, they don't watch that. They don't care about that.
Yeah.
They care about what the end result is.
100%.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah, ask me a question, bro. Shoot.
So what do you feel like is something that people in society get wrong? Like a majority of people. What's something that you think that like either it could be your belief or something that you feel like a majority of society has a belief in? Either maybe because the higher ups embedded it into their minds, or people that you grew up with, you always heard it around other people, but over time as you started to get older and experience stuff, you're like, this is completely false. Like this is not true at all.
Dang, bro.
It really puts in something like that into perspective, because it makes you think like, oh wow, like there's a good amount of things.
I do think that this is a really good one, and a lot of people think this. They don't say it, but they think it. This is shouting out to just that anyone like that comes from anywhere could succeed. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people, because the original story is the people that come from like poor neighborhoods, and the people that come from not much, that they have more of a fire than people who do. The people that sacrifice, the people that the people that don't really like have that many problems, and not problems, that's a bad way to say it, but
Bad upbringing.
like people who
Tough.
the people don't have that struggle of like things that they don't have, like they don't have that same type of drive, or like they don't have that same type of, they're not capable of succeeding because they don't have that same passion. And a lot of people think that they don't have it because they grew up with opportunities that people who don't have to fight for have. And that's a really big thing, because we always talk about, it's okay if you come from nothing, you can make it even if you come from nothing, which is 100% true.
Yeah.
But it's also 100% true. That means if you do have those opportunities, you still can make it, bro. And I'm gonna say something. This is, a lot of people know this about me, but I want to talk about it. One of my favorite movies ever is Miles Morales. And
Okay.
I'm gonna explain this. This is like,
Okay.
this is a little bit outside of the top. This is not outside of the topic, but I'm gonna explain why this relates to that. Miles Morales, I feel like I can relate a lot to him, not just because he's Hispanic. He has a Hispanic household, stuff like that. But I feel like I could relate a lot to him because of his motive. He's a kid who grew up with two parents, immigrant parents as well. His mom is an immigrant, that made so many sacrifices to give him opportunities that they never had, right?
Yeah.
So with those sacrifices leads an expectation. So in the movie, he was a really smart kid. The parents moved him from a regular public school to a private school with all people that are privileged up there, more like
Got money.
you got money, stuff like that.
Yeah. It's really
And he takes like a bunch of buses, just to be in that area, right? And he doesn't want that. He feels still out of place. It's like weird because he doesn't want that opportunity given, because he feels like it's just not who he is.
Yeah.
And the reason why I love the story of Miles Morales is because it's, the message to the audience is that anyone can be Spider-Man. that when I hear Spider-Man, I hear that anybody has a light and they can shine it in their own way. So we all know the original story of Spider-Man.
Yep.
Grew up, parents killed, Uncle Ben killed, had a sad story, poor, and he became this crazy superhero, and he got the build up. But this kid didn't really lose that much, you know. This kid grew up, and his parents sacrificed. He has expectations to be this person, and he looks at Spider-Man. He's like, "How can I ever be this person? This person went through this obstacle that I cannot even imagine going through, and he still became this superhero." But the message was that he can be Spider-Man in his own type of way. That he doesn't need to follow that specific storyline to be great. And it's the message is not just about being Spider-Man, you know. The message is about being great, you know, having that type of light. You know, God gave everybody their own specific light bulb, and it's like our part, it's our duty to shine it. Mm-hmm. And that's why I love Miles Morales. Like that's so if that's the question, answering your question is that no matter legit, when I say no matter where you come from, it's you can be rich, you can be poor. Mm-hmm. Like no matter where you come from, you can shine your own light in a specific way. And yeah, that's my answer to you. I know I was kind of rambling there.
No. That's how stuff really comes. But like that's crazy that you bring up like Miles Morales though, you know, and his whole upbringing, because it's like he doesn't want to forget his past. He doesn't want to forget where he came from, you know. And some people throw that away almost.
Yo, we got the boys here, bro.
Look at him. Like Miles Morales, like with him, like he never forgot where he came from.
Exactly.
You know, what he had to go through. So, you know, some people will forget, you know, the people that they had, you know, the people that they grew up with.
Yeah.
And they'll acclimate to that new lifestyle and say this is me. But for him, he knew that, you know, this was never really me. You know, I came from, you know, from hard times.
Yeah.
Came from struggle.
Yeah.
You know, really been through it. So it's like you, almost in a way, it's like he's gonna carry that with him for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you really see that in like, you know, like with rappers.
Yep.
A lot of rappers, like they got all the money.
Yeah.
Driving a Rolls Royce, you know, and they still think about where they came from.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the neighborhood that they grew up in, you know, and they try and go back to that community and give back to them because they know what impact that they had on their lives and their upbringing coming up. 100%. And that they know that they helped shape them and mold them into like a good person, you know?
Yeah.
And to help them and have the mindset that they have, keep them straight, you know? So, and it's good to see that. It genuinely is good to see that you go back to your old roots, you know? That's something like that. That's just like, it's very inspirational. You know? If you got a big heart, do that. Go back to your community. Go give back to them, you know? And
then create this like snowball effect, that cycle, that positive cycle where it just improves every single time, you know? That when they go back to their community, inspires this one kid just to make their community even better than it was before.
Exactly. Because you could be going back and you giving back to all these kids. You got a group of kids that you want to give them gifts, you want to give them money, you want to give them toys. One of those kids could be a millionaire.
Yep.
In 20, 25 years from now.
Never know, bro.
Have all the money in the world, do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
But not lose sight of themselves though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They see that as inspiration, and especially for younger people, that when you come around the younger generation, right, and you show them a good example, kids look up to you automatically.
Yeah.
You know, they look at you, they think, wow, I want to be like him. Like, wow, he's so cool. They idolize you almost. They look at you like, wow, like he's really, like he's a great guy. He's so cool. Wow, I want to be like him.
Yeah.
So if you act a certain way, you put that into their mindset. You know.
Yep.
They start to want to be better, you know, whatever example that you're providing, whatever you're showing them, how to do things, how to act, how to talk.
Yep.
That carries on.
Good or bad too.
Yes. If it's bad,
they follow. They do follow. That's why when we make it up, you know, we have sense of responsibility, you know, that we have to act a certain way. You know, I don't know. Do you have like a little brother, little sister, any chance?
I got a nephew.
You got a nephew?
I got a nephew.
I'm sure that.
Yeah, it's his birthday today, actually.
Happy birthday.
Shout out, nephew.
Yes, sir. Happy
nephew.
birthday. How old he's turning?
4.
4.
And that's my little twin, too.
Yeah.
He's my twin.
Just like you, bro.
Looks just like me. Acts just like me.
Dude, I can assure you that your nephew looks up to you, bro.
Yeah.
I can assure you, bro. And that every single time that you're around him, you want to, like, it's just wired that you want to set a specific type of example of the man that he should be through you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I think that just goes with, like, everybody. Like, you guys, too, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have any younger siblings, right? No, you're the younger? Oh, so you know the other side of it. Like, you see people older than you, and you're like, all right, let me look up to this. I don't know your story, but I don't know if that's, like, something similar to what you go through. But,
Or maybe you got any kids? You guys got any kids?
no kids? Nah.
Not that you know? Okay.
I'm dead.
Yeah, let's not follow Sam. Sam's not a good role model.
But yeah.
No, but yeah. I mean, he's, when it comes to my nephew, it almost, like, for me, it kind of feels like this is my free trial
Yeah.
to fatherhood,
Yeah.
100%,
bro.
And this is like, it's an opportunity that I'm taking advantage of. Being around him, I get to see from when he was born, when he came out the womb, that I got to see how to take care of a baby.
Yeah.
Then as he progressed over the years,
Yeah.
and I want to have him on a good mind. I want to, like, make sure that he's doing right, but
100%, bro.
with the experiences that I've had,
Yeah.
So, like, I want to try to instill that into him, what my beliefs are, the good things.
Yeah.
But I want to try and help him be better than me, which is
Of
what
course.
I want for my son. That's the goal. So whatever I hit, whatever I peaked, my son has to do
Better than that.
2-3 times better than that.
100%.
At least,
Yep.
And that's like what I'm figuring out too, how I can be with kids, how I am. So it's just like, once I do have that, that opportunity, and I'm a father, then it's like, okay, I've been through this now.
Yep. Yep.
This is a lot easier now. There's still a struggle, but now I'm more prepared.
Yeah.
That's one thing for me. I like to be prepared for things.
Yeah.
And especially with the kid, I get to see with my nephew, I get to see financially how much you have to take care of him, the quality time that they need, the attention that they want.
When to, like, put your foot down and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the discipline area, and it's not fully how I want to discipline him. I obviously still have to kind of model how my sister and brother-in-law wanna raise him,
Yeah.
So whatever they say, like, I follow and I reinforce it, because it's another person. I feel like with kids too, at some point it's gonna be like, oh, mom and dad are telling me this. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that. But at some point,
They're gonna listen.
they're gonna listen. But, like, if you hear from someone else too, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, oh wow, they look at you, direct eye contact. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. But mom and dad say, no, I don't want to hear it. And that happens.
Yes. And I've done it myself.
Oh.
Like, we've all done it, bro. But I know a thing or two about it. I also do have a little brother, and I know what it's like to try to lead off of example. He's a grown man now. He's not a kid no more. It's just, I'm telling you, when you see your nephew, bro, and he's like, it's different. Like, that nephew that follows you around, that little, like, I remember my little brother used to follow me around everywhere, bro. And, like, now he's a grown man, making his own decisions, doing his own things, bro. It's crazy, bro. Like, crazy seeing that transformation and see him, make his, like being a full grown man, bro. He's just turned 16 last month. And he's, like, starting to get his learner's permit and stuff like that. It's really crazy just to see, like, them grow older, bro. Like, and I'm just saying that, like, I'm not even, like, his parent. I'm just his older brother, but, like, I can't imagine how our parents see us when we grow, but it just, time really does fly, just, like, taking advantage of that time and, like, enjoying those times, bro. Enjoying those 4-year-old birthdays, 5-year-old, before they grow up.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dude, this is I'm gonna close it off with one more question.
Okay.
This is the last question here. This is coming off the dome, bro.
It better not be no ducks. Would
No.
I rather do this, that?
No ducks, no
That
nothing.
one.
So, from this conversation that we had, and the next, combined with all your goals, what do you think is one thing that you still struggle with changing, that you want to change, but, like, you just know that you really have to work on. You know, like what's that one thing that you know you got to work on, but that's just like work wise, you know, basketball wise and everything. You know, relationship like friendship wise, you know, but yeah.
My bad. There's a lot of things I wanna grow on. I wanna work on. You know, but for me, I think my pride, my pride and my ego, and really for this year, I think that's when like I really started to like really see, and I let it get bad, you know, and I purposefully was acting this way. And so, but like when I was younger, when I was first started playing basketball, I never had this experience of thinking that I'm the best in the room. You know, I always thought low of myself. I always thought like, wow, like I want to be like him. I always was looking up to players. I was always looking at players. How can I be more like him? How can I do that? Like guys around my age, you know, a few years older. And I never had the confidence, and I always lacked in the mental aspect of basketball. Until like I started training more, putting in the hours, putting in the work. My mentors telling me like, you got to have that killer instinct. You got to have the killer mentality of like when you go on the court, you're the best guy there. And over the years, I started to develop it, you know, because I was putting in my work. I knew the craft, whatever I was working on in the dark would translate to once now I'm live and there's people around, the lights are on.
Yeah.
So working on that, you know, just trusting in the work that you put in off the court helped to really translate to the mental aspect of like, okay, like now I really am, you know, and over the years I was able to change, and especially being at the higher level of school, coming down to a lower level, you know, going from a D2 to a D3, for me, I felt like because I was at Division II, even though I didn't play necessarily, and because I was there, I was at a good one, I was like, okay, I felt maybe at times I could have stuck with those Division II guys, but I didn't. It is what it is. Coming down to D3, I viewed everybody lower than me.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I'm way better than you guys. Like we're not in the same league type of thing. And so that thought, like, that consumed me, you know? And it's like, it's different to act like that on the court, you know, with your play. But then when you start doing it off the court, and at times when, like, the way you just act and you carry yourself, then it becomes to a point where it's like, all right, your pride is getting ahead of you now.
100%.
Now you're acting like a totally different person.
Yeah.
You know? And that's never really been me. But then the first time I get the opportunity to act like that, I take advantage of it, and then I do that. And I realize that's like part of the reason with, you know, with what just led me down the wrong path.
100%, bro.
You know, and it hurt me. You know, so it's something that, you know, I want to make the effort to work towards. You know, and it's, you know, at some point it'll change over time, type of thing. You know, I've realized too, if you're able to identify the problem, you've solved it halfway. If you can fully read out what the problem is. That's what I've learned too. If you understand what the problem is, you're halfway there. But yeah.
Thank you for the answer, bro. That was a really good answer, bro. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on here. You know, it was a great time. Thank you we had really good, engaging conversations, bro. And I learned a lot about you. And
that was good. Great talk.
Yeah, man. All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you, guys. Just want to thank you guys for coming and watching, tuning in. We are here every single Sunday at 7 p.m. Just want to close out. Joseph Fernandez, thank you so much. Fernandez, right?
You for having me. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the close of That's So Real, episode 2. I'll catch y'all later.